Welcome back to episode number 10 of the Let's Rap About It podcast. This is Mika, and I have with me.
What's up, good people? This is Calvin.
Mika, did y'all hear that? It made even like get out my mouth.
So we have made it to episode number 10, but we did take a break for like a week or so. So welcome back.
A week or so.
Just
A
roll
struggle
with
episode.
it. Welcome back. So I haven't talked to you guys in a little bit. How was your week and how have you been since the last time we talked?
Good.
Work. I've been working stupid, crazy hours. Been on call. So just a lot of work. I was super tired this week. Because I worked Sunday night. Monday night. The holiday.
Oh, yeah.
No, you went in Sunday.
I worked Sunday, but I'm saying I worked Sunday night and I worked Monday night.
Yeah.
The holiday. So I got home at 1:30 in the morning. Took my shower, got in the bed about 2, and still got up at 5:30 to go to work.
Regular time.
Yeah. So
I haven't been seeing me around 9.
So early in this week, it's been a super struggle. I finally got a nap in yesterday, so I think I'm kind of all right. And I caught up a little bit. I thought I was gonna get a nap on Tuesday, but the girls had dance. I forgot all about it.
Oh yeah, I heard about the that explosion. I saw it on the news finally, and Rika, you were right. Literally nothing was left standing but the chimney.
The chimney, yeah.
Yeah,
How
but
does
that
the chimney withstand that?
Because it's cement. Cinder block and all that. So that probably it ain't blow up in the explosion.
Yeah, I was late finding out about it, but that was crazy.
But it wasn't us. They had a propane tank buried in the ground.
Why would you have a propane tank in the ground?
I guess you can put propane tanks in the ground.
Yeah, so they don't have gas out there. They don't have natural gas. We don't have a line out there. So they do propane.
So a company comes and puts it in the ground. How do they fill it up?
Somebody comes, fill it up with propane, like a propane truck come and fills it up. They only normally fill them up on the winter.
We're having it at her house, but I didn't know they put those on. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Wow. So they underground. They do have a meter. Some of them do have like meters on them that look like gas meters, but they're green to let us know that they're propane.
I wonder how long they had that leak. Or to just explode like that.
And propane is worse than gas because propane is heavier than air, so it settles. Gas, once it gets in the atmosphere, it's gone. But propane, it settles, it's heavier. So it's harder
so I'm always paranoid to use the propane tank on the grill and stuff. I guess bringing it in is no better, but I always feel like it gets too hot out there in the summer.
No, you want it outside.
But yeah, I've been much the same. Work. We haven't had anything interesting happen in the last couple of weeks that I can think of. Besides today, my whole phone didn't work for most of the day. Did y'all hear about that? Y'all have a
ours was out too. No, we have AT&T.
Oh, yours was out too. Yeah, I was at work and I went to go send a text message and it kept failing. I'm like, what's going on? And then at work we use AT&T too. So they sent an alert and I was like, oh, my phone was out. I felt totally lost.
See, it didn't bother me. Like when I got up this morning, everybody's phone was working but Cambria because she had called Kelvin and said that her phone hadn't been working since 4 o'clock in the morning. But my phone probably didn't go out till like 9. But I was at work, so I just switched to the Wi-Fi at work.
They said it started around 4:30, like 30,000 customers didn't have service.
Yeah, so it didn't bother me.
I think mine went out. It was close to 10 because like that was around the time my car stopped charging, and so my phone wasn't working, and I had to go down to move my car. And my phone is my key, and I was like, I thought about it when I got to the car. I was like, man, I hope my phone works. There's no service, but it's Bluetooth. So, but I also have a backup keeping my key was upstairs at my desk. Yeah, I felt so lost without a phone for a
It,
couple
it didn't
hours.
really bother me. So by the time I left work, I looked down and I was like, oh, it says 5G.
It's back.
So it
But
was
they
back.
said that
Yeah.
the federal government, I don't remember which branch they said it, but I don't remember, is investigating to see why it went down, if it was like a hack or some sort of uh, software issue or whatever, but they're investigating it.
If
That's a lot of
somebody,
people
some
to
type of
go down.
terrorist is testing it out.
Don't say that.
Cyber
They
terrorists, I'm
be
telling you. They just testing it out. See how many they can block out.
what happened. Yeah, last I heard
Because
it was over 40,000 people.
everything we deal with mostly is controlled by satellites. The
Making me
satellites
think
go
about
out
getting
too
a house
short.
phone again. But house phones were impacted too. Landlines were impacted too. I'm thinking about it.
Hey, listen,
Because a lot of house lines now work over
Wi-Fi.
data.
iOS.
Yeah.
They
So
be
yeah,
Wi-Fi.
the work over data. So you would have to have a true traditional. So like if you have Xfinity for your phone service, that's not a true landline.
It's like voice over IP or something like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Who has true phone? I guess Verizon maybe?
Hmm. Verizon. Yeah, they would.
That's probably the only one. Who else would have a
AT&T.
true? That's real phones?
Yes, because yes, AT&T is one of the
Original Dun
is
Dotters.
the Bells. They bought out, so it was Bell Atlantic, Bell South. They were the Bells. Verizon became Bell Atlantic, and Bell South became AT&T. Why? Because I worked for both of them before they were bought out by the other, and then I worked for
Yeah, I
them
remember
after.
AT&T was singular.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, no, they have they're still landlines.
AT&T always been AT&T. They just bought out those companies.
Well,
That's what I
yeah,
said.
singular.
Now I'm talking
Yes,
to telling
yeah.
you.
I
Yeah.
said AT&T. Yeah, they bought out singular. I mean, AT&T. Who were they before singular?
Just a long distance provider is what AT&T was originally.
And Sprint.
Oh, I've
Hmm.
been with singular AT&T since before they bought out. I was with singular first. I used to be with Sprint, but Sprint, their bill could never be consistent. One month it'd be 100, and the next thing would be 400. I'm like, how my bill go up $300 in 1 month? That was the worst. I hated Sprint. Hated
Yes,
Sprint.
Sprint was wild. I had them for years. I
Yeah.
started off with Suncom.
Oh, I remember Suncom. I had my first
Mhm.
phone with Suncom, that little
That's me
orange
too.
flip phone.
I had the Nokia joint with Snake on it.
With what? Oh, the
Snake.
game?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, tonight we got two things to talk about. So first, we're going to kind of pick up a little bit where we left off on episode 9, talking about gun control and what we can do. And I think Ricky just said they had recently passed a law in Maryland adding taxes or something like that. So I don't know if you all have heard, but the mother of the teenager who did the high school shooting in Michigan, she was charged this week with 4 counts of
Manslaughter.
manslaughter. So one for each of the students.
Victims.
Yeah, each of the victims. And this is the first time in U.S. history that a parent has been charged for a mass shooting carried out by a minor. So, a couple questions. Like, one, I guess, what are your thoughts? Do you think that the parents should be responsible if their child carries out a shooting, or should they not? Or is it only in certain cases? So, in this case, I believe that the parents, I believe they gave him the gun, and the court also said that she was responsible. The parents should have been responsible for ensuring that
He was locked up.
it was locked up, and it said something else that
His
she
mental
was
health.
his mental health. Yes, that they were responsible for his mental health, so they were charged. And with
The
this being the
dad going on
first
trial
case,
next month.
the dad goes next month. Yeah.
Hmm.
With this being the case, I'm sure the dad probably will be charged too.
Absolutely.
But I'm sure we'll see more of this. Hopefully, I mean, I don't want to see any more school shootings, but if there ever is another one, I'm sure this would now set a precedent for those following cases that this may become a thing where the parents are charged. So, I mean, what are your thoughts on that?
I think that if the kid want to get a gun, he's gonna get it regardless if it from his parents or somewhere else. I only think is in certain cases where the parents should be responsible. Like you said, if he bought him what he said he had a shotgun or something. What do you have?
I
No,
thought it
he
was a
shot him with a
shotgun.
9mm.
Yeah, I thought it was a
Look it up.
shotgun, but it wasn't. And they said she was accused of failing to secure a gun and ammunition at home, and then of course failing to get him help for his mental health.
That's tough.
So it says here the gun was a Sig Sauer
Sig
Sig
Sauer.
Sauer.
9mm his father had purchased with him just 4 days earlier, and the mother had taken her son to the shooting range that same weekend.
Yeah, and she also on that morning, November 30th, when the shooting happened, his parents were called to the school for a meeting, but they didn't take the boy home. And a few hours later, the boy pulled the handgun from his backpack and shot 10 students and a teacher. No one checked his backpack. But I think it was also the mom had texted him that
So
morning as well.
what did they get called to the school for?
Let's see. Okay, so on Monday, November 30th, school staff members were concerned about a violent drawing of a handgun, bullet, and wounded man, accompanied by desperate phrases on his math assignment. And they called
He
his
had wrote
parents to
on
the
there, he
school.
said, the thoughts won't stop. Please help me. The world is dead. My life is useless.
So nobody thought to check his bags?
Nobody checked his
The
backpack.
school, the principal, the teachers, your parents when they got there. That's
The
negligence
parents
all
never
around.
came.
The parents never came. No. The
When they
parents
said the
came.
parents
They didn't
came,
take him
Okay.
home.
they didn't take him home when they left.
But the parents should have checked, especially if they knew that they had bought a gun.
Exactly. That's so. In this case, that's super negligence on the parents, and it's negligence on the school. Because if he's displaying this type of activity, you should definitely check this man bag.
Yeah.
You should ask the parents, do he have access to a gun? As soon as they said yeah, you should well, we need to check him before he can return back to school.
Yeah. I thought I also saw somewhere where the mom had texted him that same morning or that same day, telling him don't do anything stupid. Like, don't do it. So they had to have some
Knowledge of what was about
thought
to go
or
down.
something, that he was going to do something. But
That's why they got charged. Because other than that, most of the time the parents be clueless that their kids about to do some foolishness like that. So I think the reason why they got charged is because they had prior knowledge.
Yeah, they came up there. They didn't take him home. They didn't. Well, I mean, if you're gonna say they were negligent for not checking the backpack, some of that also could fall on the school.
Absolutely.
Or resource officers or somebody. Yeah.
I mean, because it seemed like they was trying to do the right thing. They was teaching them gun safety, took them to the range and all that.
They said he knew how to shoot a gun based on how he was standing and stuff.
So
he clearly knew how to shoot a gun. So they said that the mom, she would get credit for roughly 2.5 years in the county jail. When she returns to court for sentencing on April 9th, the judge will set the minimum prison sentence based on scoring guidelines and other factors. It will be up to the Michigan Parole Board to determine how long she will actually stay in prison. The maximum term for involuntary manslaughter is 15 years. So she could get up to, what's that, 15, 30, 60 years
60
if she gets it
years.
for all counts. Yeah. And the dad.
And I mean, so if they said concurrent 15, she's serving all of them at the same time. Or if they say consecutively, that's the 60.
And if they say concurrent or whatever it is, she already gets credit for 2.5 years.
Mm-hmm.
Man. Do they have any other kids?
That's a tough
I didn't
one.
see. That is. I didn't see if they had any other kids.
It doesn't say in this thing that I'm reading.
That's tough.
But trying to put yourself in the parent that lost a child, I can see how they would feel
I can
like
see how
some
you would feel.
justice has been served. Yeah.
Absolutely. But
It's
I'm
not
like,
gonna bring your child back, but somebody has to be held responsible.
but it's a slippery slope because if I say, all right, you have access to my car and you go out here and run down 10 people, am I
Because you
liable
stole
for
the
that?
car. You took
No,
the car.
no, it's my car and I
Yeah, but I'm
let you
saying the
drive it.
kid take the car. Oh,
Or if you take the car or I let him drive it, am I liable for if he plow into 10 people?
that's true. There's yeah,
So it's a slippery slope once
it
you
is.
start charging the parents for the stupid stuff that their kids do. That
Yeah.
most parents have no clue of,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying, what
But
their
it is
kids get
important.
into.
I mean, if you're gonna have guns in your house, as the gun owner, the adult, you should be aware of gun safety and the importance of locking up your weapons and all of that. But actually, after our last discussion, I was like, I don't have a gun safe. I now own a gun safe, and I have secured my weapon and put it in the safe away where not anybody can just say,
Can you
"Oh,
get to it if you need it?
oh, I can get to it if I need it." Yes,
Okay.
yeah, quick,
That's what's
fast, and in a
that's what's important.
hurry.
You don't need to
Yeah.
have it locked away if you can't get to it.
I can get to it. But now also because I have a gun safe, I can get to it faster. I feel better keeping it loaded and not
Yeah.
having to just having it out there. So, but yeah, so I was like, you know what? We having this conversation. I need to be a responsible gun owner. I had my gun away, but it was up high. But if you tall enough, somebody could have reached up there and got it. I mean, somebody could have robbed me and took it, and who knows? But
I need to
now I
get
have
safe
it in a safe.
for my other guns.
Yeah. But it did make me think. I mean, this is kind of off topic a little bit, but I feel like now I need more guns. To, like
You do.
put throughout the house
So
in
you can make
secret
them more
places.
safe.
Yes.
You do.
I need to like, and it's not my ideas. I mean, I thought about it, but it's not all me.
You need a shotgun or a rifle.
I don't know. Shotguns scare me.
You get a 20 gauge, you don't have as much kickback
Is
as a
that the
12
one with
gauge.
the long barrel?
I'm telling you,
Yeah,
it's
that's
a shotgun or a rifle is way easier to shoot than a handgun. More points of contact.
because you have so many
Okay.
little pebble things coming
Points
out.
of contact. You got
Yeah.
but I'm saying it's easier to shoot because you got it on your shoulder,
Uh-huh.
in your hand, on your cheek. It's more
Oh,
points of
for
contact
like leverage and okay,
for
I see
shooting,
what you're
yeah.
saying.
Instead of just having a handgun and you all over the
I don't
place.
know if I can't hide it. I can't hide a shotgun. I mean, I
Yes,
want to
you can.
have it like hidden. Well, I guess you can because I see it in the movies, but I want to have it like strapped behind the sofa or something. So I can just
Yes.
ready. Just grab it, just and be ready. Somebody come up the steps, you know.
Hmm.
But I feel like it's not gonna be so safe back
I can dig it.
there. So I don't know,
I
but now
want
I
to
do
do.
feel like I
Listen,
need
I
more
want to do the
weapons.
same thing, but these little ones is too. But they do have like the little the little pictures or like the little ledge that you can
Mm-hmm.
so you can
Yeah,
put it and open
just
it up.
slide it out.
Yeah, stuff like that. They got the coffee tables now.
Mm-hmm. But like over here, I know you all probably heard about the young man who went missing, and he
Hmm.
actually went missing in the park behind
But
my house. They found his
yeah, no,
car.
when I came home, they was all over there.
You saw it? Like they had that whole thing blocked off. They were actually
Blocked off.
doing a search for him that day. And before it was either before or right after they started the search, a lady in my neighborhood, her and her son, they weren't involved in the search, but they were walking down the trail
Hmm.
and they saw his body kind of like in the water. His feet were out.
Mm.
And they found him. Somebody in the neighborhood here found him. And I don't know what happened. I don't know if it was foul play. Nobody said. I don't know if he
They
had
haven't said anything.
mental
So I don't
break.
know.
I haven't heard anything, but it has given me a little bit of uneasiness because I don't know what happened. So I'm like, when I got this big old spotlight to put outside under the deck, I ordered another camera. I feel like I need more guns, like because I mean,
For
I know
sure.
you can have all those things. And if somebody's can do something, they still can do it. But I at least want to feel safer, some way to protect
Or
myself.
prepared
Yeah,
for the
prepared
situation. That's it.
because what happened back there things be having around
Don't
here.
know.
So, yeah.
Don't know.
um, topic. I'm sure everybody has heard about ReessaTeesa. Why the F did I get married on TikTok? Now, just to give a little bit of background to people who may not know, it's a
Who don't
lady
know?
who's telling her. A lady at work today didn't know. I was listening to it at work. I'm like, have you heard of the ReessaTeesa? She was like, no. I'm like, oh, you got to go listen to it. And a couple of hours later, she come back to my desk. Girl, what have you got me listen to? I'm like, just buckle up. It's a ride. Okay, it is a ride. But for people who don't know, there's a lady on TikTok, and you can download TikTok and watch the videos without creating an account, or you can watch it it's on YouTube too. But it's called, Who the F Did I Marry? And she's talking about her experience with her ex-husband, who's a pathological liar, and all the lies and all the things that he took her through over the course of 2 years. It will blow your mind.
Not even
And
quite 2 years, about 18 months.
yeah, it wasn't quite 2 years. Yeah.
Mhm.
I didn't listen to it
Yeah.
initially. Somebody had posted the summary of it all on Reddit. So I just read the summary and I'm like, man, that is insane. Like, she didn't know this, she didn't know that. And Rico was like, no, you gotta listen to it. And so once I started listening to it, it is a different experience listening to it. You have to listen
And
to it.
nothing else is good. I enjoy good storytelling, okay? And the 10-minute increments that she could only record at a time was perfect
It was
for
perfect.
my undiagnosed ADHD, okay? So while I'm tied in, I knew in 10
It's just
minutes
10 minutes.
we're going to something else. So I won't
Yeah.
going to lose focus of continuous rambling. So every 10 minutes I could reset and be like,
Yeah.
oh, I'm back in. Yeah.
Listen,
Mhm.
it was
Yeah.
52 videos, 10 minutes a piece. That's 520 minutes of content. She needs her own episode on the Netflix series Who the F Did I Marry? Or
Oh no,
this
No,
would
somebody,
but
also
somebody
on
gonna
Very
catch
Good
on
I
that.
just
Lifetime.
it's Who the Bleep Did I Marry is the name of it. Who the Bleep
It's
Did I
okay.
Marry?
So yeah, it'll
Oh,
make a
she gonna
But
great
get something.
episode.
on those ones, they always have killed somebody. So hers it's not on that level.
Somebody gonna
That
pick it up though. Somebody
She
she
needs
gonna
a
get some type of deal.
Lifetime show
She
or
is.
something.
we can watch it on BET Her or something like that.
It's gonna
Just
come out
don't
on
make it a
something.
Tubi. Just don't make it a Tubi.
Well, I was gonna say Tubi reached out to her in the comments and was
Hey,
like,
listen.
check your DMs.
Yeah.
If
Tubi
you
has
get the,
already reached out to
Today,
her.
long as you get the
today,
dudes from Detroit
um,
to make it, we good.
Whew.
today BMW started watching it.
Yeah, BMW said, wait, I'm on episode 1. And
Yeah.
so did Hyundai.
Hey
Yeah.
yo,
Hyundai,
she might get a BMW.
Hyundai was like, we think your playlist will sound good in our car. They
She
might give her a car.
She might get that Telluride.
That was Kia. Yeah, she said
She
all
don't
I
get
wanted.
something.
The
All I
M
wanted was a
series she
Kia.
wanted.
Yeah.
The
She
Audi
gonna get
Q8.
something. And she announced today or yesterday she's got the trip. She's going to Paris. So the
She
trip
got
that he
somebody that gave her
promised
the trip
her,
to London.
she's going to London. Yeah.
See, she about to get.
I mean, she's
smart.
not. She said she
about to
wasn't
get
doing
everything.
it for that.
She probably wasn't, but now it's all gonna come though.
Yeah, I'm on episode I think 40,
You 46.
46, and
Mhm.
that episode she said that day like everything had taken a toll on her, which I can imagine it has if you're
I think that was
basically
the day
reliving it.
that her ex-husband was tagged or somebody
Yes,
found him.
yeah.
And yeah.
Which I don't agree. I don't think that whoever you found him, just let him be.
That
Like,
won't necessary. But and like I said, everybody has to get their 5 minutes
Of course.
from like reposting, her videos
Yeah.
and stuff like that. So I watched it only on her
I
from
want to know
her page.
where was she driving in all these videos? Because she was driving
work,
for
I
a
guess.
long time. She got one
Her
crazy
job was in
commute.
Cobb County, and she was way out there wherever. And clearly, she had a long commute. And she
That
probably
first
was
one, she still
morning
had
like,
rollers in her hair going. I'm like,
yeah, she was on
somebody
her
said,
way
did
to
she
work.
drive to the moon? Like she was driving
she
for a
was-
long
She
time.
was on her way. You should empathize with her. You take.
I
take
mean,
you
my
an hour to
commute
get
is an
there.
hour and a half, but it don't seem. Well, I guess I'm also not recording 10 increment videos, but
Yeah, so it probably dead
You
serious.
get
She's like,
9
what?
videos in that time.
yeah.
This is a good time for me to record this.
That's the
Hold
best-
my
that's the
music.
best time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
let me give me something to do.
But let's
But
recap. Let's
Because she
just
probably had
recap.
all that stuff on her mind. That's probably like the best time to get it off her
Yeah,
chest.
she said it was very cathartic, like to talk about it. I mean, it did happen 2 years. Being 2 years removed from all of that trauma and everything she went through is not a long time in the grand scheme of things. I'm
I
sure
mean,
she's probably gonna be going through
It's
I would
therapy
tell
and
you
stuff
what.
for a while.
The way I have trust issues, and I ain't never been through that. I wouldn't even trust myself no more. You know, just
I mean,
Ah,
but what just threw me for a loop when it got to the part where he was having fake conversations.
yeah.
How do you have a conversation by yourself
And she
for
said
30
she
minutes
called every
laughing,
man
cracking
like
jokes?
30.
because he crazy.
Listen,
What?
and
Do you
we
know how long you
and
gotta
every
like? Yeah, so and so and so,
yeah,
and he's including her in on the
yes.
conversation.
But the thing is, as the more I listen to it, the more I realize I'm like, you know what? Every family has that person.
I
Every
guess so.
family,
I guess
every
so. I
family
mean,
Oh,
but
has
absolutely.
that
to
That
that
person.
that
extreme,
at
to that extreme,
at
though.
the
I don't know
line
today,
that
but
listen.
like what she said, the cousin called and was like, he's been lying since
Since
he
he
was
was
a
a
child.
kid.
And I was like, you know what? Mm,
He
we
just
all know that
lies.
person.
He just
We all know
lies
that
just to
person.
lie. I mean, he lying about
Line
stuff that
is a
she didn't
lie.
even ask about. He's
And don't
showing
you know
her.
that person that lied to just hear themselves lie? What? You know. Yeah. Just
I
lie.
wouldn't go. I
Like
mean, he
nobody even
killed off
asked.
somebody.
Oh, he
Killed
killed
off
off a
somebody.
few people.
They were already dead. Just talking to them,
Oh yeah, he did.
right?
Yeah, he killed off a whole living person. He did. He did.
Killed off a whole living person. I'm
Yeah.
like, why would you do that?
Yeah.
Like, I don't play about death either. I'm with her on that one.
His
So if
his
somebody says
own
somebody died,
stepdaughter.
I'm just gonna take it.
Own stepdaughter
He
killed her off.
killed her. And what's strange to me when I realized that okay, all these people are not dying now because he said they all died from COVID. I said you don't know that many people that died from COVID. Like people were dying from COVID, but he had like 5 people in his immediate family that have died from COVID. No, that's
Okay,
just,
so
that's
so
not
let's
believable.
start from the beginning. We'll quickly recap and summarize the first few episodes, starting with episode 1. This
She
lady,
was just a lonely.
she was.
That's it.
That's
Yeah,
it. So we're gonna recap.
Just had to have somebody.
So
and
episode
she didn't
1,
want
she
to
said
quarantine by herself.
she was on dating apps. She matched this guy on 2 different dating apps. On one app, his name may have been James, and on the other one, it was Jimmy. But come to find out, same person, and they were planning to meet up. Where they met up, Cheesecake Factory. She said they were going to meet up there together. On the way there, her whole tire blew out. Whole tire blew out.
Sign number 1.
Tire
God is
number
trying
1.
to tell you something.
The Lord
Your
told you,
tire blew
ma'am,
out.
pump your brakes.
Listen.
Yeah,
Right.
pump your brakes. So tire blew out. She called him, was like, hey, my tire. He was like, oh, send me your pen. She dropped him his pen. He met her at the gas station. They went on and proceeded with the date. She said they had great conversation. Even after dinner was over, like they sat in the car, talked till midnight, and went on about their ways. So they keep talking. They enjoy talking. He was
2
living
weeks.
somewhere. Yeah, he was living somewhere. He had a studio apartment. She had a 3-bedroom townhouse.
You know what I never part I didn't catch? Did she ever see his apartment? Because as it turns out, that apartment belonged to the ex-girlfriend. So
Yeah, I don't.
she never went to his house.
I don't think. And so
Of course, the conversation was great because when you lie, you never run out of stuff to talk about.
Right.
he had to get somewhere. So 2 weeks after their initial meeting, COVID, everything shut down. And here we are. Her question was, where do we quarantine? She said, we can't quarantine in his little studio. Space is too small. I have this 3-bedroom townhouse. And that's how he got his ashy foot in the door, right there.
You
And
quarantine
once
at your
that man
place, I
got there,
quarantine mine.
once
We
he
just
got
travel
there,
in between.
yeah, this man said, I am good from here on. And that's where it began. So this is March. By April, they're still kicking it. Mid-May, she finds out she's pregnant.
I think
And
right here when she found out she was pregnant, and she said this when she found out she was pregnant and she was living with him, and she has like religious parents and she grew up in the church.
yeah,
I think she felt some pressure from that
Oh, she
too
felt
to
yeah.
get
So
married.
she said she felt really convicted about doing this because she always said, she One, she wouldn't have a man move in. She didn't want to have a child without being married. But also, so this is when they started looking for the first house. So he had a friend who was his a friend that was
Oh
a
no,
realtor.
this wasn't the friend. The first one wasn't the friend. The first one was the agent for the. Sorry. The first one was the agent for the seller. I thought.
No, I'm gonna
I
tell
thought
you.
his friend Scott. Scott was the first realtor.
It was
Then the
two
second
Scott.
one, was his friend Scott. Yeah, and
No,
then it was Amber.
Yeah, so it went his friend Scott first because she
No, the
never
other way.
met. No, let me tell you.
It wasn't the friend Scott
It
first.
was. Listen. So the first house dealing was with his friend that she never was included. She never went and saw the house. She didn't know anything about it. All she knew was he was under contract. He was
Right.
under contract. And then she's pregnant. And so now she's realized, oh, we really need to get a place. I don't want to have a child, whatever county they was living in. He comes up and said, oh, something happened. We can't go to closing yet. So she looked up the house and it read that it was off the market. And she's like, it's off the market.
He told her that something happened with the interest rates.
Yeah.
And she let him escape with that.
But at this point, she had figured out the house he never had a house
He
under
never had an
contract.
offer. Yeah.
But in her mind, this is her logic. She said, because I was pregnant, I didn't want to have to raise this child by myself. I gave him away out of the lie, even though I knew what was wrong. So when he said something about the interest rate, she said, I said, oh yeah, we should go ahead and back out of this because of it. It's not for us.
Yeah.
She said, I knew that.
Stupid.
Yeah.
But she kept covering for him the further along this thing went.
Stupid.
Then shortly after that, a week after that, she had the miscarriage. And she even admitted to herself, she said, I'm sorry if this is a trigger for anyone. She said, but that was the Lord number 2. He said, I'm sorry I had to have a miscarriage, but yet again, that I could have left at that point because now I don't have any ties.
I want to know, where was he when he was supposed to come pick her up from the procedure after the miscarriage? Why did it take him 3 hours to get there?
He's a shift worker. He just couldn't leave work, Mika. He had to get off.
You can just leave work. You can put in leave.
Not if that line needed him. Not if the line needed him.
He got somebody answering his phone named David.
He was the VP or something.
He got David answering. Who was David? Somebody answering the phone as his executive assistant.
Yeah.
To relay the message.
Who was David? He was in a very important meeting, and he.
But what's crazy is, I don't know if y'all caught this. She said that day he went to work to have a meeting about the promotion, about the promotion. And he got his assistant the same day about the promotion. Who does that? I was like, did anybody touch that? I was like, he was blown. I was like, wait a minute, that was about the promotion, about becoming the VP. And she told him, VP now.
Yeah,
he might all in the same day.
All within a matter of
and a $90,000 company car.
Yeah. That he had her to go to the dealership, pick it out, pretend like he was sending over paperwork to the people at the